Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King 2, and today I'm going to be giving you part 31 of Uchiha Naruto the Sage. Remember to get this one to 100 like as usual, share it to all of your friends on your social media platform, and also go ahead and check out my main channel because tonight I'm going to be posting what if Tsunade was Naruto's mother and what if Naruto was trained to be a mercenary after this guys, so go ahead and check it out. And if you're new and this is the first time you hear my voice, what are you waiting for? Go ahead and click that red subscribe button and join the Anime King family. And also, go ahead and check out my main channel, Anime King, where you can enjoy over 400 lovely what ifs. But for now, let's get straight into this. Start the intro. You can change. You satisfy the rage in me. Take away my pain. You satisfy the rage in me. So to do a little bit of a recap, Naruto defeated Yagura, killing him, and the Kyuubi was sent flying out of him as Naruto knew that this will spoil up the Akatsuki's plans if the Kyuubi will take long to reform. Naruto was back at the village in the mist as the village was coming back together and Mei has become the new Kage of the village. Naruto got news as Zetsu told him that Jiraiya is coming towards him because he found out about his location from his spy network as Naruto was waiting for them. Naruto also has plans as he wants to kill Orochimaru and retrieve the Uzumaki mask. So yeah, that was basically the last part, but you guys can switch across and enjoy for yourself. So let's start this new episode. Naruto had on his armor as his gunbei was strapped to his back. Jiraiya, Sasuke and Kakashi had arrived in the village, but they looked like they were sightseeing and gathering information. But Naruto didn't waste no time by going to them, as the three of them stood up as they saw the man walking towards them. As they saw the fearsome warrior in his armor, his sharingan blazing, as they looked at him from head to toe, as they heard about his adventures, as they could not believe that he has become so powerful and fearless. Well, he was always fearless, but the power the eyewitnesses were saying that he was showing was amazing. As the news spread that Naruto went to the Sound Village and decimate all of Orochimaru's bases as he destroyed all of the Sound Ninjas. Someone has been busy, Kakashi stated as he looked up from his little orange book, as he was the first one to speak since they met up back. When they arrived, they first looked around the village before Naruto appeared in front of them. Jiraiya was staring at Naruto before he spoke. "He does look a lot like him, Kakashi, doesn't he?" said Jiraiya. "Yeah," Kakashi replied, his eyes narrowing at Naruto. "Just imagine what would happen if he had black hair. The elders would have freaked out and called for his execution," Kakashi commented. Naruto looked at Sasuke. He seemed different and he could tell that he has improved his skills and his strength. "Kakashi has trained you well, Sasuke," he stated, ignoring Jiraiya and Kakashi's comment. Sasuke just nodded. Kakashi this time has trained him with all of his might, unlike when he was a genin. "And you have become strong," Sasuke stated. "Yes, I have," Naruto replied as his eyes morphed into the eternal Mangekyou Sharingan form. "Tsukiyomi," he muttered. "The world of Tsukiyomi." Sasuke found himself in the same place that gave him nightmares. He looked around as he saw Naruto with a calm expression on his face. "I see that you remember this place," Naruto stated. "This jutsu is not so different from what Itachi did to you. This is an illusion. It will not harm you," stated Naruto. "I figured that much," Sasuke stated as he looked back at Naruto. "You said it before that you and I are family. You are correct. You and I are the only Uchihas that will give birth to a new generation of Uchihas. But for that to happen, you and I must be willing to work with each other. Don't you agree?" said Naruto. "I agree," Sasuke stated. Naruto nodded. That is what I wanted to hear. After this, you will be returning back to Konoha. When you get back there, go to Tsunade or the elders and tell them to return all of the Uchiha properties and the money that was taken away after the massacre. Do not take no for an answer. Is that clear? Said Naruto. Sasuke just nodded with a smile, as he was liking how Naruto was thinking. Also, make sure that they give you back everything. Some scrolls were taken from the library. Make sure they give you back that as well. When everything is done, then I should be returning, and then we can rebuild back the compound. What if they refuse to give me what is ours? Sasuke, since when do you take no for an answer? Naruto said with a small smile. Perhaps the first time he ever smiled to Sasuke. Sasuke smiled too as he let loose of a chuckle. Perhaps never. But you do know that they can be difficult sometimes. If everything is not returned when I return to Konoha, then we will just have to make them see reason. Now won't we? Said Naruto. Sasuke nodded with a smile. With everything now said, Naruto cancelled the technique. End world of the Tsukuyomi. The change in Naruto's eyes didn't go unnoticed. However, no one was willing to ask anything about it. Before you leave, look for Uchiha. She is somewhere in the village, Naruto stated as he looked at Kakashi. She's here? Kakashi questioned. Naruto did not respond. He turned his back on them to leave, only to be stopped by Jiraiya. Where are you going? Jiraiya asked. Naruto turned as he looked at Jiraiya. Where I wish to go, Naruto replied. Nah, Jiraiya was cut off by Kakashi. Aren't you going back to Konoha with us? Kakashi asked. No, Naruto responded. I have some other business to attend. What business? Jiraiya asked as he narrowed his eyes. Are you interrogating me, Jiraiya? Naruto stated. I don't like that. Jiraiya snorted. Listen here, kid. I was given orders by the elders to return you back to Konoha. The fact that I still wear the leaf headband is to show that I am still one of you. As for your orders, I don't care about them. You can just tell them that you failed. Jiraiya was about to yell something when Uchiha appeared in front of the group. She smiled brightly upon seeing Kakashi. She went on to hug him as Kakashi returned the hug with an eye smile. What are you doing here? Kakashi asked. Long story, Kakashi, Uchiha replied. Jiraiya looked at Uchiha for a moment. Uzuki Uchiha, you have been missing from Konoha for about a month now, he stated. Tsunade had given him a task to look for her and her squad, which had been out on a mission, but they never returned. He was able to find bodies of her comrades, but nothing about her. Yes, that is true. I will explain about that later, she replied. I assume that you're trying to make him return back to Konoha, she said as she looked at Kakashi. As Kakashi nodded, don't bother, said Uchiha. He won't budge. What? I am a Sannin. I will take him by force if I have to, Jiraiya commented. With all due respect, Jiraiya, the fact that you're a Sannin means nothing to him. He doesn't care if you're a Sannin or not. Believe me, I don't think even you can force him to return back to Konoha, Uchiha said. Jiraiya mumbled something as he then looked away. How do you know that? Kakashi asked. I saw him fought during the Civil War, as she didn't bother to go into details. I have also spent about a month with him, so I know that he cannot be forced, said Uchiha as she looked at Kakashi. Kakashi sighed and nodded. She's right, he said. Fine, Jiraiya said, as he took a serious look as he stared directly into Naruto's eyes. What is this that I heard about the Kyuubi? Naruto raised an eyebrow. What are you talking about? Don't play stupid with me, kid, said Jiraiya. News did travel fast. Well, said Naruto, as we go into a flashback. A year after Naruto had left Konoha and started his training, Naruto was standing in front of the cage inside of his mindscape, as the Kyuubi looked like he was sleeping. Hello, Kyuubi, he said. Slowly, the Kyuubi eyes opened as he stared at Naruto. What do you want? As the Kyuubi didn't like Naruto's presence, Naruto had the sharingan, a mighty dojutsu that was used twice to control him. As such, he hated anyone that possessed the sharingan, but he hated Madara even more. And plus, Naruto was also related to Madara. I want to offer you something, but in return I want something from you, Naruto stated as he rested his hands on his chest. What? Said Kurama. I told you last time that I will free you from this cage. It's degrading for a being such as yourself. I also don't like the fact that I am sharing my body. Perhaps, if it was the 10 tails, I wouldn't complain. If I give you your freedom, will you come to me whenever I call you? The Kyuubi did not even think about it for a second. He just snorted. My freedom? So I can be manipulated again? I'd rather stay in here. You are letting your hatred towards the past cloud your thoughts, Naruto said. I never said anything about manipulating you. You are just making those assumptions on your own. It's always like that with humans. They say that and then they do this. Your words mean nothing to me, the Kyuubi said. You are being difficult and complex like a woman, Naruto said. Watch your mouth, brat, the Kyuubi said in a low, dangerous tone. You say that you cannot trust my words, but the fact that I'm here speaking to you, isn't that enough that you can trust me? I have my sharingan, and it is very easy for me to control you with. You live inside of my body. You should know that manipulating is below me. The Kyuubi growled in response, as he knew that was the truth. The only reason that I said I will need you to be available when I called you, well, it doesn't matter anyway. I will return in 2 days, and you will have your freedom, he said as he started to walk away. 2 days later, Naruto stood in the old land of the dragons, with Zetsu beside him. Madara was the one to discover the place, since he had scoured the shinobi world and trying to find things that are valuable towards him. Naruto then closed his eyes as he went inside the mindscape, as he walked towards the Kyuubi cage. Today will be the day that he gets his freedom. It doesn't matter what he thinks. He knows that the Kyuubi wants out, but perhaps that he was a Uchiha, and that he was Madara's grandson, and Madara was the first man to take control over the Jinchuriki with his sharingan. The Kyuubi hated the man, so he just passed on the hatred towards him. Naruto then walked next to the cage, as the Biju was just staring at him, not blinking, as he was trying to figure out what the kid was doing. I came back again, Naruto said. Well, I am not a seal master. This seal is quite complex, but with force, it can be broken. The Kyuubi said nothing, but Naruto knew that his message was heard. I will weaken the seal. Zetsu will try to extract you from the outside, while you force yourself out, Naruto said, as he then started to lift himself up in the air with the sewer water. Naruto then lifted up his shirt as his hands started to glow, and he slammed it on his stomach and twisted. The seal then started to twist for a bit, and Naruto started to wince in pain. He looked at the Kyuubi to see it still watching him calmly. After a minute, the Kyuubi chakra started to leak out of the cage, and the black ink on his stomach started to drip out of his gut. Naruto smiled. The seal was weakening. On the outside, Zetsu saw Naruto fall down to his knees. Zetsu then lifted Naruto's shirt as he saw the change on Naruto's seal, as he smiled and placed his hand on the seal. He focused on the Kyuubi until he grabbed the chakra that was leaking off the seal. He pulled it out with his right hand, and then he jumped away from Naruto. His right hand had the Kyuubi chakra inside of it as he was pulling, as his left hand formed a single hand sign. Naruto then raised his hand up as he placed it on the seal and was about to rip it off. Just then a hand stopped him as he was pushed away from the seal. Fourth Hokage, the Kyuubi growled with pure anger dripping from its voice. It stopped trying to break from the seal as it glared at Minato. Naruto just stared at Minato with a blank look on his face. He was surprised to see the man in front of him. He had not expected him to show up. Minato looked at Naruto oddly for a minute before speaking. Naruto? As he was unsure if it was Naruto or not. Hello, Minato, Naruto said in his same calm expression. Fourth Hokage, come here so I can rip your body to shreds. The Kyuubi growled again. Minato didn't look back at the Kyuubi, he just looked at Naruto, as his son just called his name. But he had a look on his face, as Minato couldn't tell what Naruto was thinking. He sighed. He did not have much time to dwell on anything. "Naruto, why are you trying to break the seal?" he asked. "It does not concern you," Naruto replied. "I can't let you. Let out the Kyuubi. It's very dangerous." "As I said, it does not concern you. You are just chakra that was sealed inside of me when you were placing a seal on me. You are dead. Your role has already been fulfilled." Naruto brought out his right hand as he placed it on Minato's chest. Minato did not know what his son was doing, as Naruto said, "Disappear." As Naruto let out a wave of chakra out of his hand and blew away Minato's chakra in thin air, Naruto went back to the Kyuubi's gate as he ripped off the seal. As he looked at the Kyuubi, "Leave some chakra behind, so I can stay alive," Naruto said as he left the cage. He stopped as he narrowed his eyes at the Kyuubi. "When you are free, my body will be weakened. I will be unable to do anything. And if you try anything funny, I will make you regret it." Naruto threatened the Kyuubi dangerously as he started to walk away. The Kyuubi snorted as he went back, trying to force himself out of the seal. The seal formula stretched out around Naruto's body in the real world as it lifted him in the air. He was letting out a scream as Zetsu continued to pull out the Kyuubi out of the seal. As Zetsu continued to pull the Kyuubi, Naruto's skin became pale. The process lasted for about an hour as Zetsu did not have that much chakra to pull out the Kyuubi at once. When the Kyuubi was extracted, it appeared in all of its glory, as it then narrowed his eyes at the pale looking Naruto. He looked like he was going to die. Thoughts began to sneak in his head as the Kyuubi wondered if he should just finish the boy like how he's down. But then again, Naruto had freed it from the seal and not manipulated it with the sharingan. As he took in a deep breath, he was now free and back in the world. Zetsu then walked up to Naruto and picked him up and disappeared from the Kyuubi's view. White Zetsu separated from Black Zetsu. Black Zetsu took over Naruto's body, as he knew if he did not do that, Naruto's life would be at risk. Soon as Black Zetsu possessed Naruto's body, it felt the Kyuubi chakra running around inside of Naruto. The Kyuubi must have left some of his chakra behind, so to keep Naruto alive. A few days later, Zetsu had left Naruto's body and seen that his heartbeat had become stable just a day before, and now Naruto was already up. He wasn't fully alright, but the chakra that the Kyuubi left inside of his body has mixed with his own, giving him a higher chance of survival. As soon as he was able to use his chakra again, Naruto reverse summoned himself to the Dragon Land, where the Kyuubi was. Naruto found the Kyuubi resting, like it was always doing when it was sealed inside of him. "How does it feel to be free?" Naruto asked. "Good," the Kyuubi replied. "Good," said Naruto. "So, do you trust me?" "No," the Kyuubi said. But Naruto's face didn't change. It just looked the same blank as ever. "But I can still work with you. Let me be clear. I will not be your pet or do anything that I don't like." "That is fine with me," Naruto replied. End of the flashback. Jiraiya did not need to know all that. Naruto was just remembering to himself as he looked at Jiraiya. "That does not concern you," he said, as he disappeared without telling them anything. "You know, someone should have offered to go with him," Uchiha said. Kakashi raised an eyebrow. "Are you worried about Naruto?" he teased. Uchiha blushed softly. "If you saw him at the Civil War, you would be worried. He is reckless, and he might get in trouble because of that. He does not think when he charged towards his opponents, but I think that was just because he was excited about his fight." "Uchiha, you did hint that Naruto was stronger than Jiraiya, so I doubt that anything will happen to him," Sasuke stated. "Sasuke is right. Come on guys, let's go back home," Jiraiya said, as he was disappointed that Naruto did not even stay to chat with them for about an hour, just 4 minutes, and left. A few minutes later, Naruto was walking calmly on his way out of the Mist Village Orochimaru, was next on his agenda. He wanted to deal with the snake before going back to Konoha. He then stopped suddenly when he felt a familiar presence behind him. I am so hurt that you're leaving without saying goodbye. Mei spoke behind him. I had to hear from my man that you were leaving, she said, walking close to Naruto. Naruto put a smile on his face as he turned around to face her. I did not think my departure would hurt you, he said, sounding a bit amused. Mei walked close to Naruto and stood an inch away from him. You were leaving without me giving you a goodbye kiss. It seems that way, Naruto stated. Will you return? She asked. I have no plans of returning here, Naruto replied as he looked her straight in the eyes. Mei leaned closer to Naruto as she stared into his eyes, as their lips was just a breath away from making contact. It seems like eternity as she stared into his eyes. Mei then closed her eyes as she moved her lips towards Naruto's. They then made contact. Mei was afraid that Naruto wouldn't kiss her back. She felt relieved when he returned back the kiss, as they stayed there for about 10 seconds, and then they broke it, as Naruto smiled at her. As Mei had never seen a smile like that from him before. It was so calm and warm. Goodbye, he said, as he disappeared into the mist. A day later, somewhere in the Earth Country, Zetsu glanced at Naruto. They have been traveling at a rather fast pace. Naruto said that he wanted to deal with Orochimaru quickly and return to Konoha, but Zetsu wasn't sure if that was the only reason, because he had said it to himself and said it out loud that he was not in a hurry to return back to Konoha, so why of a sudden that you want to return so quickly? Zetsu, Naruto said, caught in Zetsu's attention. Do you think that we should remove the clone that is attached to Danzo? He asked, slowing down his pace. Zetsu looked at Naruto curiously. Why do you ask? Don't you think it gets boring when you know everything your enemies are planning? I mean, there are no surprises. You are never put into a difficult position because you always know what they're going to do and you're prepared for anything. It does make sense when you put it like that, Zetsu responded. As they continued to talk and walk at a slow pace, as they arrived at Orochimaru's general hideout. We're here, said Zetsu. Alright, said Naruto. It's time for Orochimaru to die. But guys, I'm going to be ending this episode right here. If you want to see the next part of this, you already know what to do. Like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on that bell notification to stay posted. Remember, share to all of your friends on your social media platform. And also go ahead and check out my main channel, because I'm going to be posting what if Tsunade was Naruto's mother, and what if Naruto was trained to be a mercenary after this. So go over and enjoy, and click that red subscribe button, and also join the Anime King family and be a part of the channel. And thank you all for your support and help. But without further ado, I'm out for now, guys. See ya. Peace.